All right, everyone, welcome back into another NFL DFS video. Going to be breaking down the Sunday night showdown that we have between the Chicago Bears and the San Francisco 49ers. This is actually a pretty interesting slate to break down because we just got DJ Moore and Zacchaeus ruled as questionable due to an illness. I'm kind of expecting them to play, but we'll talk about who we'd be looking at there in replacement potentially. And then also we do have George Kittle being out, or most likely out. He's currently listed as doubtful. So we'll be talking about who we could be looking at there in replace of him. Let's go and get into it. So it is worth calling out, guys. This is projected to be a higher scoring game here, 52.3 total points. So we do like that there. And it is projected to be a close game as well. So we also like that there as well. So all the players that we'd want to be on here in this game are still going to be plays that we can get to. So yes, let's go ahead and jump on into the top plays on each team. So yes, guys, with George Kittle expected to sit, I kind of think that's actually just going to benefit CMC the most. We look at kind of the start of the season when George Kittle was out, we just saw CMC get a massive target share, and I kind of expect that to be the case as well. Now, we know that was partially due to like Ricky Pearsall being a little bit banged up at the start of the season, Juwan Jennings being a little bit banged up at the start of the season as well, but the main factor was George Kittle being out, and so I do expect him to get a few more targets. The issue that we have here is it's actually kind of a tough matchup for him against the Bears. Over the last 4 weeks, the Bears have only given up 11 receptions to opposing running backs, so the thought would be we would want to play CMC in the captain spot. I do worry that maybe he doesn't have that ceiling there. Like, it's a better matchup for Brock Purdy. And even without George Kittle, I think Brock Purdy is going to be able to go off once again like he has been. He's looked good lately. And I think I'd rather get to Brock Purdy in the captain spot over CMC. That being said, if we are playing both of those two, I kind of like the idea of just trying to get kind of lucky with like Ricky Pearsall in the captain spot. We know at the start of the season when George Kittle was out, Ricky Pearsall was having a pretty good start to the season. And I'm kind of okay betting on that to happen again, assuming he's going to be good to go. Okay, because we look at week 15, 7 targets, 6 receptions, 96 receiving yards. That was kind of the expectation that he would be good to go after the bye week. And I don't really think they'd be playing him if he were not good to go in this game. Kind of same thing with George Kittle. That's the reason why he's questionable. And so if Ricky Pearsall is going to be good to go, I like the idea of getting to him in the captain spot. Although Juwan Jennings has been the player that's been going off, he has been a touchdown machine. The Bears have given up 6 touchdowns over the past 4 weeks. So I do think we want to begin to one of them, if not both of them. I really don't mind the idea of doing this. That being said, we do know that with George Kittle being out, Jake Tunges was the player that really benefited in that time span with him off the field. He ended up playing like 70 to 80% of the snaps in that time span. So he's certainly appealing. And then Luke Farrell is also not a terrible punt play. I would expect him to play about 30 to 50% of the snaps as well. Maybe we get lucky with the touchdown for him. He is not a terrible punt play value as well. And for what it's worth, I don't hate the idea of getting to their kicker, who also has been going off lately. If he gets us 10 DFS points at that price tag, he is certainly going to be a very appealing value. Then from there, guys, we do need to go ahead and get into the Chicago Bears. So we do know that Rome Odunze is going to be out for them. Okay. And so with that, we are expecting Zacchaeus to kind of be the number 2 in regards to like his snaps played. That being said, in regards to like the role in production, it probably will end up being Luther Burden, who Luther Burden is too cheap. He is someone I think we could play in the captain spot as well, especially if we are just trying to jam in a bunch of the Niners studs as we currently are. And so I think we could get away with playing Pearsall in the flex and then getting a Burden in the captain spot, just trying to get some salary savings. That being said, like DJ Moore has been a stud as well with Burden and also Rome Odunze being out. Now Burden's back, but the air yards have been over 100 over the last 2 weeks, guys. The target's 7 and 5, a little bit touchdown dependent, I would say. And you'd maybe argue that he's due to see a decrease in his touchdowns in this game. Maybe you could make that argument. And that's maybe where Burden is a little bit more appealing, especially from a price point standpoint. And then I will say, I don't mind the idea of getting to Kyle Monangai or DeAndre Swift, although it is a more difficult matchup for them. So maybe there's some concern there. And then with Burden being back, Walker is not someone we're really looking at. Although if Zacchaeus or more were to be ruled out due to their illness, then Walker would end up being a much more appealing play. And so to kind of close out this first like build for you guys, I probably would just go with Luke. I wish I could get to Luke Farrell. We can't. I probably would have just went with this. So maybe we can't play Pearsall and Jennings together, which I don't necessarily love. Maybe we get off of Jennings to get to Swift or Monangai. Swift would be the safer play. You know, I don't hate this lineup. It's okay. But this is kind of the small decisions that we're going to make. And I don't necessarily want to get to Farrell. Like, I know a lot of people are just going to end up on Jake Tunges. And he's also someone you could potentially play in the captain spot as well. Just kind of betting on that role to be there like it was at the start of the season when George Kittle was out. That then allows us to be able to pay up for Burden and maybe fit in another potential stud like Juwan Jennings. And the issue that we have here is 5-1, right? It's a high scoring game. 5-1 doesn't make sense, but that is just kind of how the lineups come out to be for me, because I do like attacking the weaknesses of the Bears, and I don't want to fade CMC. And then, as always, guys, I'd like to give you guys a little bit of a second look with what the 9-to-5 lineup builder is telling us are the top builds. So right now, the top build would be Caleb Williams in the captain spot, paired with Luther Burden and Colston Loveland. Don't hate it. Jake Tunges is in there. Okay with that. Don't necessarily love it, though. Okay lineup. But what we're noticing here when just looking at the lineups is it is tough to really make a spectacular lineup. Chalk build would be Purdy, CMC, Jennings, Monangai, Loveland, and Luke Farrell, which, again, I'm okay punting to him. We would rather get to Tunges for sure, but getting to Luke Farrell instead, not a terrible route to go there as well. That's going to do it for this video, guys. I appreciate you being here. Leave a like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel as well. Be on the lookout for the Monday Night Football video as well. We'll be releasing that video basically right after this game has been completed. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.